All right. Well, thanks, Nikki, for getting on tonight. I know there's a lot going on with the weather, and you've got to get up early tomorrow morning to do the forecast. But I was wondering if you could just give me a quick summary of the weather headed our way. Trent and Mike went into it in the details, so maybe just a quick high-level view.
Yeah, we kind of know that precip started this morning. It began as rain, and then slowly that rain level kind of dropped throughout the day. Winds were a little bit more elevated throughout the day. They've dropped as well. And then we got about 3 to 6 inches, depending. It looks like the northern zone was a little bit more favored. And then going into tonight, we know that PI rates are going to increase. So we're going to have more snow. Winds are going to be elevated kind of into the early morning hours, but the really hard hitting like pulsive precip supposed to come between like 11 p.m. and 1 a.m. By 5 a.m., we could have anywhere between 10 or 16 inches of snow. Rolling into tomorrow morning, the precip should decrease a little bit and the wind should decrease a little bit as well, but temps are also going to be dropping. But throughout the day, we could pick up another 3 to 6 inches. So just continued PI, continued elevated winds. Hopefully the rain levels dropping with yeah, throughout the day as well.
Yeah, well, here, I'll just throw this up real quick. Um, I think this is just striking. This is the river of moisture headed our way. We're over here in Utah, and this river of moisture that's going to be slamming into us 610s all the way out here past Hawaii into the Pacific.
Yeah, we
And
know we got like a little bit of a break, but then another like hard hitting pulse starting again Friday. So
and then these water amounts, I mean, if these pan out, I mean, this is up around 8 inches of water. But what's interesting is this is a similar graph for the Sierras, and we're getting like precip that normally we don't see here.
yeah, yeah, high water numbers and pretty like intense periods. We could get another
Yeah,
1 to 2 inches of snow or water overnight.
yeah, it's pretty remarkable. So let's move on from the weather. Weather. What does this mean in terms of avalanches for tomorrow and like moving forward, like big picture? What are you thinking?
Yeah, so like right away we know that we're gonna have more snow and we're gonna have more wind. So once if we get 10 to 16 inches of new snow overnight on top of that 3 to 6 inches, we're probably gonna start seeing new snow instabilities at those upper and mid elevations. Lower elevations, it's kind of been raining, and will hopefully drop below that, but I don't think we're seeing too many new snow instabilities at those lower elevations. And then winds have been pretty high throughout the day, and they're supposed to stay elevated, gusting 45 to 65. So I guess with that new snow, we're going to see some wind drifted snow instabilities as well at those mid and upper elevations. And then I think the point of uncertainty is the persistent weak layer. So we've been talking about it for a while. We know that that persistent weak layer exists, especially on the northern end of the compass
Hmm.
at upper and mid elevations. And I guess it just depends if this snow and this water and this wind, just that total weight's going to start to tip the scales. And we begin seeing avalanches stepping down into that persistent weak layer as well.
And those could be big.
And those could be big. Yeah.
Yeah.
We know in like the upper cottonwoods, we put a ton of snow on that about a week and a half ago, those 90 inches, and those grains seem to be a little bit more stubborn, a little bit more insulated. But mid elevation zones, we've still been seeing propagation in our pits. So, like the Park City
Mhm.
Ridgeline, maybe Mill Creek, Mineral Fork, areas that harbor weak snow and maybe got a little bit less snow last week. I think as we begin to load going into tonight and tomorrow, might be more suspect to see stepping down into the PWL.
And maybe other aspects too, because we've been finding the weak layer on some of the maybe not due south, but southwest and southeast aspects. We haven't really listed it as a problem there because it, even though the weak layer exists, it hasn't been a problem. We haven't seen avalanches there, but it seems like it, with the loading we're talking about, almost anything could happen.
Yeah, it's we knew that the entire Wasatch was covered with facets prior to 2 weeks ago. Those facets haven't gone anywhere. They just weren't as active. So with so much snow, with so much water, so much wind, those aspects that have been quieter could kind of come back to life.
And where do you think we'll be at with the danger level? Like tomorrow, the next day, through the weekend?
Yeah, I think we're going to be like rising into considerable and high avalanche danger. I think, that cusp depends on what snow totals we end up getting. But I think that traveling in avalanche terrain is not going to be recommended after, probably tomorrow morning. So I would guess like the upper ends are going to be high. Then we'll take a little bit of a reprieve. And then when we add more snow and more water, the avalanche danger is going to continue to rise going into the weekend.
Well, cool. It seems like we'll have to see how it pans out. Like you were just talking to Dave, getting ready for your forecast tomorrow. What are your uncertainties for the next few days?
Yeah, some of my uncertainties, like I talked about, one is that PWL layer in general. One, is it going to come back to life, and where is it going to be most active? Did it get wet today at those like mid elevations where it was kind of raining? Like, did those faceted grains get wet?
Did you see some rain today?
I saw a lot of rain today. Yeah. I was in the Ogden area, and it was I did not see snow. I saw 3 hours of rain. So yeah, did the faceted grains get wet, and like what's going to happen to those when the temperature drops? And then in general, the persistent weak layer, like where does that lie as an avalanche problem for me tomorrow morning? While the likelihood might not be as high as wind drifted snow or new snow instabilities, if that avalanche does occur, that's going to cause the most damage. Those are going to be the largest and most destructive avalanches seeing, and that's what would really cause like a skier some issues.
Yeah, or anybody.
Yeah, riders, snowshoers, dog walkers. Yeah, anybody
Yeah.
traveling to the backcountry, the PWL is going to be what causes the like largest and most destructive avalanches if they do start occurring.
Yeah, we're laughing and joking a little, but these things would be monsters.
Yeah.
So let's just, I guess, to wrap it up, like what's the take home? We've got this huge storm coming. There's some things we know, there's some things we don't know. I'm headed out to go skiing or riding tomorrow. Like, what's really my take home point? And for this weekend or for tomorrow?
Yeah, I mean, there's the things that we do know. We know we're getting more snow, and we know that winds are staying elevated through it. So we're going to see avalanches in the new snow and the wind drifted snow. And then we know that we're adding a load to that persistent weak layer that's been active and could easily come back to life. So avalanche danger is going to be on the rise. That's what we do know. Going into the weekend, I'm probably going to avoid travel on slopes steeper than 30 degrees. So avalanche terrain in those like upper and mid elevations that I know the PWL exists. But yeah, going in the weekend, we just know that avalanche danger is going to be on the rise. As we add more stress to the weak faceted snow, we're going to start to see more avalanches.
Yeah. And I don't know, like these water mounts, if they come true, I don't know if unprecedented is the right word, but
yeah.
I mean, even though our weak layer has been getting stronger, we are gonna just put a massive load on it. It's kind of scary to think about what could happen, or the avalanches that could play out if it wakes up.
Yeah, we're gonna test that weak layer and see what it's got, and then maybe down the line, it could put it to bed. Areas that are getting rain at like lower elevations that we were seeing human triggered avalanches 2 weeks ago, they might be completely locked up by tomorrow. So we could roll into like a more positive outcome in a week and a half or so after we add these snow layers. But moving into the weekend, we know we're adding a huge load.
Yeah, it is. It's definitely promising, and the coverage is just unbelievable. So we're moving in the right direction. Okay, well, cool. Well, thanks. I hope this helps anyone who tunes in to kind of get a sense of what you're thinking, and you'll make it crystal clear for us tomorrow morning.
That's the goal. Yeah.
Okay. Good night, Nikki.